Shalom. Up again. Dream kind of was whooping on me a little bit. Just had me thinking a little bit before I could even get on here and just talk, ramble a little bit. Sometimes when you reflect on things, people can get the notion that you're over exaggerating a situation, and you're not. The situation was a reality, something that actually happened or does happen. I always wonder if people were really in some of these situations, how they would respond and how it would affect them, because when you listen to how they talk, the quickness to say get over it and things of that nature, and you just kind of wonder how quickly would they actually get over it, and would it have a lifetime effect on them, or would they basically do better than you've done in dealing with the matter. In my dream, basically, my alarm had went off, and I still was a youth, and I would just basically turn the alarm off, and I was just sitting there just thinking. Not much time passed by, and the fact that I hadn't got up, someone got up because they hadn't heard me get up and decided to come in and strike me to get me up. Now, this actually happened to me in my youth or whatever, but I did have several times of being late, and so I had times of oversleeping or turning off my alarm and going back to sleep. So basically, when I got struck in my youth, I fixated, or I got it in my mind that maybe I deserve that. Maybe I deserve that. So in the dream, they come in and I'm like, I am up. I'm not asleep. And yet, since I'm not moving, as far as putting some pace on, or moving quickly to get up, they start swinging. Can be seen as an exaggeration, but I'm pretty sure someone relates. Someone does. It happens. It does. And I did used to believe that it was my fault. That was one thing that when things happened to me, I was learned or taught to believe that I brought it on myself. See, I even, have people sometimes get in the comments of my posts when I'm reflecting on things and stuff, especially from my childhood. And they say, well, maybe you deserve that. And I'm like, It's amazing, though. I've seen some of the same people that say maybe it was deserved defend situations and say that wasn't deserved. But it's like, man, as a child, how do you deserve such a thing? I know as an adult, I used to be in adult relationships, getting hit by females, and, I did, again, think maybe I deserved it. And so, you know, I did do some things. One time particular, I spoke to the person and said, "Hey, I'm going out with the guys. We're going to the strip club." And they're like, "Okay, have fun." And I had said I would be home, I guess, like at 2 or whatever. But, you know, the Hammer Droppers here in Flint, it's after hours or whatever. So, you know, I didn't come home to 5. I was a little intoxicated and a little bit out of it. Um, I didn't pay for no females and stuff like that. That was one of the things that I was big on not doing, paying for something that I couldn't enjoy or as far as get to the final enjoyment. So I didn't really tip strippers and stuff like that. That wasn't my thing. But I did watch others tip. Uh, I did enjoy that stuff, and it was a sinful thing. I did used to do that, and it was brought to the person's attention that that's where I was going. I did not lie about where I was going, but I did, I guess, lie about the time of return because I said I was going to be back by like 2, and I didn't make it back to about 5, and so they dragged me out of the bed, intoxicated, and just started wailing on me. And I'm like, just don't hit me in my face. Don't hit me in my genital area. They were wailing on me. And a lot of times, my mindset was like, okay, I'm a big guy. It's not hurting. But sometimes it did hurt. But I could take it. I was used to always taking a beating. You know, I used to get bullied as a child, so I was used to being, taking a beating. I used to get whooped a lot as a child, so I was used to taking a beating, so I took the beating. And, you know, eventually I did stop going to the strip club or whatever, hanging out with the friends and stuff like that, trying to avoid the beatings, but they still, at times, they still happen. Locking doors and stuff like that, just like, and it's like, okay, maybe I deserve this, you know, the way I live my life and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, this is after 25, and I didn't expect to live past 18, 21 anyway. So, this was bonus time anyway. So I'm like, okay, don't sweat it. Didn't leave the situation and stuff like that. But grew up and around abuse, so leaving an abusive situation is not something that I knew how to do, because I was adjusted to abuse, almost took it as, okay, that's an expression of love. You know, everybody who loved me, you know, either abuse me or watch me be abused. So, and then people say, well, why do you always remember these things and stuff? And it's like, you dreams are undefeated. When you go to sleep, you're trying to rest. Right now, it's like 3 in the morning, so I'm not resting. I don't have to work first thing in the morning. I'm working second shift tomorrow, but I'm not asleep because my dreams are undefeated. I can change my thoughts when I'm up, but when I'm asleep, it's hard to escape those things. And though I have not dealt with any abuse or anything in over 20 years, in a dream, that thing is fresh. It's like you never escaped. And so, there again, it's not reality, but it sure feels like it. And people will say, oh, get some therapy. I'll talk about it. how do you counsel somebody, or I'm just wondering. I'm like, what kind of therapy is going to stop my dreams? Is it going to stop the enemy from attacking me in my dreams? See, the thing is, though, I feel like this is my thorn that's not being removed because it humbles me. It definitely gets me where I don't respond with anger like I want to, especially in situations where I could be a hothead. The temptation is to hurt people like I was hurt, but I do everything in my power to not do that. I respond when it's in text and stuff like that very quickly. I do. But when it comes to physical aggression, I don't. Because I know that I can tear somebody limb for limb, and I probably would pleasure in it too much. And so I have to restrain myself. I don't say that to make anybody fear me, but it is what it is. I fear myself because I know what I'm capable of and what I desire sometimes, and it's nothing righteous about it. And so I have to, submit myself to Yah to say, hey, heal me, because my thoughts right now are not holy, and I would desire to be holy. Yeah, I might complain about some things, but I feel like that venting and stuff like that, letting it out that way is better than me doing what I desire to do, what my flesh desires to do. I don't work in the land of hate as is thought, because many people I could hate, but I have to just like, okay, pull myself back and say, nah, you can't go there. You can't be like what's happened to you. And I get days that I don't have dreams and I'm good. But then after a time, here they come. And so I get it. I'm on this big I am kick, viewing myself through the lens of a vessel for Yah being Messiah. So I'm above all of the nonsense and stuff. The storm is still going on, but yet I'm still walking towards Messiah, walking on water basically like Kepha, and power is all around me and through me. And I'm doing the will of Yah, and nothing is canceling out my focus on doing that work. But there's the but. Man must rest. How do you control? People say, well, what you watching? Well, I didn't watch nothing last night. Actually, I was working. I had a shirt order. I haven't had much business lately, but I've been working a lot at work, and I actually had a shirt orders, a few of them, and so hey, I was putting that in motion. Yesterday was a very good day. It was actually a day off from my job, but I was working in the business. I know I'm pretty low. I'm trying to be respectful and stuff. My daughters have school tomorrow. One in college and one in school. And the one in school here, she actually homeschools. And then my grandson will probably be here about 6, and so My wife is trying to rest for that and everything, so I don't want to be too loud and selfish and wake nobody up. But I really don't feel like sleeping right now. I don't want to return to what I left, what I woke up from. So I'm trying to give myself a little bit of time so when I go back to sleep, I don't start right back up where I left off, being hit, laying in my teenage bed or youth bed, or doesn't matter who it was. It's a dream. Person's not here anymore. And it's not possible for them to do that. I'm 50 years old and they're deceased. No reason to be mad at them. They only did what they knew to do. So I'm very much in the mindset of forgiving them and not holding them accountable to that, because what is it going to do? They can't fix it anymore. They're gone. And so much people do is off of what has happened to them. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be abusive towards my family, towards friends, and things of that nature. But I can't allow people to abuse me. You know, I think that's probably why I became union rep at work or whatever, because, stuff was affecting and happening to me. And I'm like, okay, I wanted it to stop happening to me. And then seeing it happen to coworkers set me off too. I guess it's no different than when I became, more physically fit or stronger, when I started addressing and dealing with people that I seen as bullies, and I started bullying bullies. Many, many remember my Trey persona. I took on a name named Trey. And I did a lot of stuff that probably should have me in jail. Yeah. Didn't get caught, so I can act like it didn't happen, but it happened. Some people were there to witness some of the stuff. And that persona came about. Why? Because so much stuff was occurring. Flint, Michigan is not, it's never been the nicest of places, but it's been home. This place doesn't get loved the way it's supposed to get loved, like any place should get loved. In my, crooked politicians, crooked police, and a lot of the people are morally not sound. So, me, myself, I stay out of the way. I don't partake in a lot of the stuff that people feel the need to. I clubbed in my early ages, from 18 to 25, around there, and I was done with that life. I witnessed clubs get shot up. I was in clubs that got shot up, stuff like that, and I continued with that while during that age when I didn't care, didn't have nothing to live for. But once I had something to live for, I had to get up out of that. That was not something that I could see as entertainment, dodging bullets or dodging trouble. And I did stupid stuff that still had me dodging bullets, but there were situations that I chose, or that I was partaking in. Club situations, it didn't have to be your beef. Like, I remember the time I was at Club Train. This place actually had bring your own drink, and picnic tables in it, and it was like I guess it was a motorcycle bar or whatever or something. And it only had one exit out of it, so when they were shooting out in front, you was stuck in that mug. Fight broke out, only one exit. The youth a lot of times are just looking for some form of entertainment, something to do. When I was a youth, we had teen club. You can go play basketball for hours, keep you off the street. They closed that up. They said we don't have no money for that. And I'm like, what money did it cost to just have the lights on a little bit longer? When a lot of times when you really look at it, they got the lights on anyway. One person, one adult opened up the gym. And a lot of times they got to run. They got out there and played with us too. How much did that really cost? And Teen Club basically kept so many young men or young, and it was a lot of girls in there too, but it's mostly guys, and it kept us off the street. You had a lot of people from rival neighborhoods or whatever in there just getting some run. The middle court was full court, and then you had a lot of games on the side, half courts. I wasn't really talented enough to play full court. I played half court. But Teen Club was just so fun, taking your time away from the street. When they closed that up, a lot of folks that were from opposing neighborhoods, what did they do for entertainment? Beef with each other even more. Man, Teen Club allowed me to meet a lot of folks that, not only lived in you knew who lived in your neighborhood, but sometimes, people would come to your teen club from other schools or other neighborhoods. So you got to know people where you knew them only from basketball or playing like that, but you still like, okay, you recognized them. So now if your neighborhood had a little funky attitude towards another neighborhood or somebody from another neighborhood, if you recognize somebody, you're like, oh man, that's so and so. And that in itself squashed it or made it available to be squashed. I didn't roll with a gang or nothing like that, but I rolled with my cousins, and they were in a gang. So I'm older, and I'm the one driving them around, and so happened they knew a lot more people because of those basketball games. See, they would go to open gym or clubs over at Merle and all these other schools that I didn't go to. I just went to homes, and so they went to wherever ball was at. So they knew a whole lot of people, and it made it where they were less adversarial towards certain people because of that relationship with the sport. So many people that got so much wisdom or whatever, they cut money from programs that actually help. Yeah, I know I don't want veered all the way off. I'm actually calming down and stuff. My dream ain't really the focus now, so that's good. And I probably can go back to sleep and probably will. But I just needed a chill pill or whatever, or to disconnect from that for a minute because, again, I felt very victimized in that, and now I'm getting sleepy and ready to go back to sleep. But thank you for listening. You know, I thank anybody that loves me, that prays for me. I appreciate that. I know this is kind of low again, but sometimes I have to record some of these things so I can look back on it and just use it for ministering to myself. Hopefully, it's even helpful to somebody else because I know people don't always believe that these type of abusive situations are real. And again, they think they're over exaggerated, but people deal with this stuff for real. Stuff that you see in movies, a lot of times it's in movies because those things actually happen to someone and they're putting it on film to release it. And people identify with those things. People really do identify. And a lot of times it's like, man, so I wasn't alone. This has happened to someone else. We don't, want to dwell on the situation, but it's good to know that I did not deserve that. That was not right. And that I shouldn't feel that I'm worthy of being abused. Some people actually believe that they're worthy of the worst and all that happens to them they deserve. And it's like, in reality, there's no guarantee on anything, but that thing of being abused, that's not merited. That's not okay. Yah has not set for us to be abused. It can occur, but that is